Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Dr. Morse's Protocols and Pairings for Holistic Health. Before we get started, I would like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. You have joined the presentation listening using your computer's speaker system by default. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions to today's presenter by typing your questions into the questions pane of the control panel. You may send in your questions at any time during the presentation, and our support team will do our best to answer as many questions as we can throughout the presentation. Today's webinar is being recorded, and you will receive a follow-up email within 24 hours with a link to view the recording. This webinar is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice. Dr. Morse's is not responsible for individual decisions or actions taken based on this webinar. For personalized guidance, consult a healthcare professional. I would now like to introduce our presenter, Jennifer Billingham. Jen?
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Colleen. My name is Jennifer, also known as Jen B, and I will be your guide for our Dr. Morse's Protocols and Pairings for Holistic Health webinar today. For this presentation, I'm joined by Colleen, our Certified Herbalist and Director of Education and Innovation here at Dr. Morse's, and Stephanie also joins us behind the scenes to help answer your questions throughout the webinar. And they will get to you as fast as they can as well, too. And we'll go ahead and get started. And first, like we always do, we like to thank Dr. Morse. He's the reason why we're here today. And his life's work has been to unlock the body's natural ability to heal by supporting its regenerative detoxification process. And he's been doing this for over 45 years, educating humanity on how to remove obstructions in the physical and energetic channels, connecting the body, mind, and spirit through proper diet and support of his transformative herbal formulas. And throughout the years, we've witnessed profound health shifts by encouraging deep detoxification within the body through diet and the support of our herbal supplements. And like this webinar today, our emphasis is on education and how to empower you to architect your own health journey and make informed choices for your personal health goals. So we really thank you for being a part of our Dr. Morse family and just the collective journey towards vibrant health and its powerful force for global healing. So here's the official welcome, and as I mentioned before, Colleen and Stephanie are behind the scenes ready to help answer your questions using the Q&A feature in the webinar window. If we don't get to your question, you're welcome to email the address on the screen. That's info@dmhhc.com. Some of you did submit questions prior to the webinar. We got a lot we're covering today, so I'm not sure if we're going to have time to get to them. We'll see. And if not, don't worry, we did retain those emails. We will respond to you. So either way, your question will get answered. And also, don't forget, stick around. At the end of the presentation, we'll put up a screen where you can screenshot a discount on some formulas in our holistic health category that will be available to you all. All right, and then just a quick overview of what we're going to cover today. As part of our holistic health protocols to really set you up for, the end of this year and the year coming is we're going to take a look at the ultimate detox kits and the Fab 4. We're going to talk about the Heal All blends and tea, a couple of our superfood blends, and also the metal detox, what you can do for oral health, and also the voice box spray. All right, and next here. All right, so now we're going to really get into it. And I have to admit that this webinar, this was a little bit difficult for me to develop because when you think about it, developing holistic protocols just in general is a little bit challenging. There's so much diversity to Dr. Morse's herbal formulas for detoxifications. We can go so many different directions with protocols. And, when I was really contemplating the direction I wanted to go, my mind, kind of wandered. It often does. And just over the years, working with the Dr. Morse team and, the privilege of meeting with so many people, whether it was in person at the clinic or classes, or just even now getting to interact with many of you through consultations or emails, it really got me reflecting on the time of, where we were, where we are now, and where we want to go, where we see ourselves going, and that every single person had a reason that they embarked on this journey. They had their own story and, just as how Dr. Morse's message resonated with them. So that's what we're going to do today. We're gonna take a little time to consider where we started. We're going to look at where we're at now and where we want to be, especially as we approach the end of the year. How can you take some of this information and create a protocol and kind of customize it, tailor it to what you need to that so that you can grow and to get the most out of it for your health. So first step is, it starts with you, your commitment, acknowledging what you need to do. You have to open yourself up to rejuvenation for not just your physical body, but that spiritual, mental, and emotional, those components as well. And besides some personalized recommendations, these holistic health formulas, these formulas in this category, they are excellent detoxifiers in their own right, but they really do complement personalized herbal protocols, and then they can also kind of intensify that detoxification experience. So we're going to help you recognize when to incorporate these herbal formulas into your protocol, and just so you can appreciate their purpose and how they can bring your detoxification to a different level. And you can consider, when to add them or change them into your protocol, and just see how they might complement that. So just our little slide to get us into gear and start looking at these formulas that we have in our holistic health need state category. And Colleen can probably, if you don't mind, Colleen, she'll drop in the chat just the link to the website where the holistic health need state is, so you just have a quick reference of what I'm talking about. But we'll start with the ultimate detox kits. All right. So Dr. Morse has had kits for a very, very long time and recently revamped these. And, the ultimate detox kits are designed for that deep tissue cleansing experience to detoxify the body as a whole and rejuvenate the body's cells. They're structured to open pathways of elimination, move the lymph, reinforce filtration through the kidneys, and then it's going to be also supportive to all the other body systems in their own unique functions. So really, no matter where you are in your state of health, what you're going after, the kits are a simple and comprehensive way to get you started, especially if you're eager to get started right away. And, just really commit that 16 weeks of deep tissue cleansing for that optimal health that you're going for. Really focus on the diet. And these are also great if you just wanted to maintain periodically through the year, if you don't have anything pressing going on. So here's a quick glimpse of, I know this is small print, it's the only way I could get it on the slide, but the quick list of all the kits and their formulas in each kit. But this is all on the website. You go to the website, look under the kits, and you can see each of the formulas listed. The GI formulas would be, the GI capsules would be what you would need to select according to your bowel movements and your regularity there. But anyone can start working with the kits. Work with them in sequence. You can repeat them if you desire to. Also, it's a good thing to do, like if you start working with it and you're going to have a personalized protocol or you're going to meet with a detoxification specialist, you can get started working with these, and then your specialist can pick up right where you left off, honestly. So that's a good way to start opening some things up before a personalized protocol. But this is an excellent way to really approach your health in a proactive way, in a preventative way. It's not this, and none of this is a treatment-based system. You're not chasing remedies for symptoms that resolves nothing, and it only accumulates the acids more into the body. So these kits are a good way of opening up those pathways, those body systems, and promoting their functions a bit better. And then we have the smaller kit, the Fab 4. And you've probably seen this slide so many times in previous webinars. It's a bit exhaustive because I like to reiterate that this is always the foundation of any protocol, that you always want to work on your kidneys, your lymph, your GI tract, and your endocrine system. So the Fab 4 is, definitely a small, it's smaller, it's more condensed, and it could be a more cost-effective way for some people to really begin working on themselves. And you'll also see these 4 formulas, to some point in each of the ultimate detox kits. So using this as part of your protocol as you're developing it, create a routine, obviously, with your diet and your habits. Remove those acidic foods, progress towards the consumption of raw living foods, just to promote that detoxification process further. And you break down those systemic obstructions and just really encourage elimination of the wastes out of the body. And a quick recap of what those formulas are. It's the GI formula, I put the GI daily here, but off to the right, you can see the purpose of daily: loose, gentle to moderate, super mover. That's all on the website too. And then you have a kidneys and bladder formula, a lymph drainage, and an endocrine daily. And as you're developing your routine, as you're looking at what your goals are for the year, or just your health in general, honestly, those kidney and lymph formulas and the endocrine formulas, you certainly exchange any of those at any time. When you look at the need state, you have 4 kidney formulas, you have 4 lymph drainage formulas, and then multiple formulas that help address the endocrine system, from the adrenal to the thyroid, pituitary, and beyond. So really assess your weaknesses and listen to your body, its language, and make some adjustments with these principles of the Fab Four in mind. And next, we're going to talk about the Heal All Tea. I bet you the majority of you have a bag of this tea either in your fridge or in a nice, sheltered spot in your home, and hopefully you're drinking it regularly. But also we want to talk about the Heal All Herbal Blend. It's the same blend that's just available in tincture, capsule, or glycerin form if you're not necessarily a fan of the tea. And this tea, it's been around for a very long time, and it really does help simplify formula selection for health maintenance and cleansing. Really does boost detoxification of the lymph system, encourages that filtration of the lymph through the kidneys, and it just helps all of the other body systems and their unique functions as far as their natural cell and tissue functions, and it can be soothing to acidic tissues. So just an ideal addition to any protocol, and an accompaniment to the Ultimate Detox Kits or the Fab Four. Just great rejuvenator for the entire body. And if you're limited by your financial situation and you got to just work with one thing, we'll work with the Heal All Tea, but always make sure you're working on your diet too. Incorporating those fruits and veggies, mostly fruits, obviously, for their cleansing properties and the boost to the kidneys. So definitely consider working with the Heal All Tea, adding it to it, or one of the Heal All Herbal Blends. And if you were looking at a protocol that, without considering other tissue weaknesses or body system weaknesses, if we're just looking at the basics, you see the GI formula, kidney and bladder, lymph drainage, and the endocrine, something that supports those Fab Four, obviously. And then you can add the Heal All Tea. Or if you're not a fan of the tea, you can certainly add one of the Heal All Herbal Blends as a tincture, capsule, or glycerin, whatever you would prefer there. But really consider adding that in at some point. All right, and now we're going to talk about the superfood explosion and high energy. And we've got a lot of blends. Dr. Morse has a lot of blends, but we're going to focus on these 2 because they're in that holistic health category specifically. These are excellent companions to a protocol too, but they can be also taken by themselves at any time, just regular maintenance, day in and day out. So these are really excellent if you haven't tried them yet. They're nutritive blends, made from highly energetic foods. It's for all ages, all walks of life, and just that additional nutritional support. It's not going to interfere with the detoxification process. Both are very supportive to all body systems, but especially the endocrine and nervous systems. High energy capsules, I remember when that came out, that seemed to be incredibly supportive to those with adrenal weakness, which a lot of us have. So you may want to, consider working with this formula for a while, especially if you're working with the adrenal support or the endocrine daily in a regular protocol, consider adding that high energy or the superfood explosion in. Just make sure that you're, still, adhering to your diet, but also consider your other body weaknesses. That's where the root cause is. That's what you need to really address. These are great supplements and additions, but you still want to get to the bottom of, why your issues are present too. So if we wanted to look at a protocol, you're setting yourself up, maybe, oh, you got a little tired. The holidays will run you ragged, I'm sure. So you can look at the Fab Four, and you can consider adding the superfood explosion or high energy in. Again, add them at any time. I know some of you might be wondering, hey, can I take them both at the same time? You could, but for simplicity's sake, like Dr. Morse is always saying, keep it simple. Work with one of them at a time. Really see which one seems to work really well for you. You know, the superfood explosion, you know, that's a favorite. It always, superfood blends have always been a favorite and people work with them all the time. The high energy, I would say that might be a more temporary thing. Work with it for a couple months, take a break, and then go back to it and see, because you really do want to make sure you're addressing your weaknesses and not just using it in that treatment mentality. We don't want to do that, remember? So either way, consider adding one of those to your personalized protocols. All right, metal detox. This is an awesome one. If you haven't tried it yet, at least work it into your routine at least once or twice a year, because we're exposed to toxicity every day. And, you know, some people, depending on your occupation, you might be exposed to it in staggering amounts. And even beyond that, think about what so many of us, if not now, what we may have done in the past, like putting in our hair, on our skin, between makeup and cleaning products, perfumes. There's so much we've exposed ourselves to, and we bring this toxicity in through what we eat, what we breathe, and, you know, also what we put on our skin. So the metal detox has been around for a very long time. And, you know, it's designed to assist the body in the removal of heavy metals and chemical toxicity from the tissues. Lymph stagnation and impaired lymph filtration through the kidneys just complicates that removal of these toxins. They just sit there and linger. So incorporating the metal detox into a protocol, along with your healthy diet of high in fruits and those raw veggies, will aid the body's lymph flow and the filtration efforts of these unwanted chemical residues that are just hanging out. Better out than in, for sure. So a protocol, again, not considering what your other weaknesses might be. Always working on the lymph and kidney, always supporting the hub of the body, which is the GI tract, and then a form of support for the endocrine system. Then you would add in the metal detox. So you could consider, if we wanted to build on what we've gone over so far, yeah, you could have the metal detox is in one of the ultimate detox kits, but if you were building something yourself, consider the Fab 4, have a heal all tea, throw that metal detox in there. Consider a superfood and do that for a month, and then change it up again in the second month. Just really, you know, have a little fun with it, see how your body responds, and change up those kidney and lymph drainage formulas here and there. Maybe switch out the endocrine for the adrenal support too. But just try to change it every 2 weeks to a month and see how your body responds. Check for that kidney filtration too. And now, I don't know how many of you have had the opportunity of trying the herbal tooth and gum powder. It's pretty awesome. If you haven't tried it yet, you want to feel some pretty clean teeth. This is some amazing stuff, and it's all natural, nothing nasty in it or that you have to question. And the oral health is directly related to your overall body's health. Okay, your mouth is your gateway to your digestive system. That's how we begin processing our foods. The first step in digestion is chewing your food. You have to break them down before they pass to the stomach. And also too, you know, we breathe through our mouths. We communicate with others by speaking or, you know, simply smiling. You know, that's a positive thing. You can have a really good impact on someone's day. So you want to show off that healthy smile. So keep in mind, you know, your mouth should be on the alkaline side of chemistry. And the more alkaline your saliva is, the healthier gums and the enamel of the teeth really. It just promotes better oral health, because a lot of people do have issues with receding gums, very, very sensitive teeth, you know, sores in the mouth or whatnot. This is a very good supportive formula to help bring the tissues back into that more alkaline state. You know, watch how you're eating, and you know, making sure also too that you're working on your body system weaknesses, like moving the lymph and supporting the kidneys too. And if you had a protocol with this, always the Fab 4. The herbal tooth and gum, you don't even need to have it as part of the protocol. You can just do this day in and day out on your own, no matter what. But let's say you had some issues that, you know, some weaknesses presenting in the mouth that you wanted to address. Then the herbal tooth and gum would be excellent. The bone and connective tissue support would be one, because it does help support tissues, you know, along with calcium utilization. Supports the parathyroid, so it does have some support for additional support for the endocrine system, and the gums that might be receding as well, and your enamel. So hopefully once you start using that herbal tooth and gum powder, you'll start to see that sensitivity decrease too. And you know what, a couple other suggestions, you know, some people use the heal all tea, like once they've prepared it and cooled it a little bit, they just use it as a little bit of a mouth rinse. The same with Parasite Micro. You could dilute a little bit of that and use that as a mouth rinse as well. And voice box spray. All right, we were talking about this before we came on, and I could probably use a little myself right now. But I remember when Dr. Morse was working on this one, he had singers and performers in mind. You know, especially some cases he worked with that uh, really could benefit from something like this. And as we get into these, at least in our hemisphere, these colder months where I know I should talk, I'm from Florida, what kind of cold am I going to deal with? But for those of you who are in the colder climates, you know, your throats can get dry, scratchy, and irritated. It can get uncomfortable. You can begin to get that sinus drainage. Even without detox, if you're detoxing, this is a good formula to have in your herbals medicine cabinet. And yeah, I said medicine, but you know what, like Dr. Morse has said, your medicine should be your foods, your medicines. Well, we got some herbs to help with that too. So consider having this on hand to use as needed, even daily, whether you're talking a lot or you just have a lot of that irritation and drainage. It is a good support for the body's immune system. You know, your body's immune system is probably going to be engaged this time of year anyway. You're traveling, you're probably seeing a lot of people. So it will help expel that accumulated mucus and hydrate the tissues of the throat. Some herbal teas, obviously, some of your fresh fruit and green juices can also be very, very soothing too. And, you know, this can help calm some of that occasional coughing and that discomfort that's just absolutely irritating. So you can be added anytime to a protocol. It's displayed here with the Fab4, obviously. So just remember to consider your other weaknesses that might be present. You want to drain the head. You want to keep working on the GI tract. If you need a little bit more support in the respiratory system, consider the 3 lung tea, the 3 herb blend, or the lung detox. Remember that also working on the adrenals and with the brain and nervous system too would be excellent if you have some of those respiratory weaknesses. But yeah, I would say just hang on to that voice box spray. You know, keep some of that in your cabinet. And it doesn't taste bad. All right, now we got to talk about food. We always talk about food because that's super important, and food combining. So you got to keep it simple. Eat the foods that are intended to optimize digestion and absorption. You want to avoid that fermentation. You want to avoid, you know, stuff hanging out in the gut that will just putrefy and just, you know, destroy the tissue. So raw living foods, that's the best way to do it. So just remember, what you eat, breathe, and put on your skin affects your health. So just make some small changes daily if you're looking for a way to get started and really start setting yourself up. Consider what your habits are in a day, from getting ready, taking care of your oral hygiene, for example, just your hair care products, your skin care products, little things like that. What little changes can you make to start bringing, you know, making sure you're not bringing in the bad so much anymore? Think about if you don't work from home and you have to go to an office, think about what you would bring as far as food to reduce temptation and all that through the day. I mean, this is the time for probably holiday parties and people bringing in all kinds of baked goods to the office. How can you make it manageable for you? You know, we don't want you forming any guilt or anything like that around your choices. That's another obstruction, another barrier to your healing process. So make sure you just make some really conscious choices and understand how these foods are going to affect you. And that will just help, you know, clear the mind too. And just a little recap, we always do this. So you can refer to the food combining chart on the website to just focus on 100% raw living fruits and vegetables while you're doing your cleanse and working with the herbs. You might need to graze, eat often, make sure you stay hydrated, having, you know, fresh fruit and green juices through the day, and just really pay attention to your food combining. You know, you're cleansing, you're probably going to feel some of that, you know, a little bit of that bloating and some discomfort here and there. But as your body begins to work through and cleanse and push all this stuff out, you know, that begins to balance, and you'll start really feeling great and energized too. If you talk to a lot of people that have been doing this for a while, they will tell you how great they feel when they're doing these cleanses. All right, so just to sum it all up, okay, it does, we said it in the beginning, it all starts with you. This is any time is a good time, but especially at this time. Now it's a good time to clearly define and outline your vision, like your expectations for your health in the days to come. Whether you're starting now or you're saying, oh, I'll commit after the first of the year, that's totally up to you. Don't put a timeline on your detoxification process. The congestion in the lymph system, in your tissues, that did not accumulate overnight. The weaknesses didn't suddenly just appear. The manifestation of it might have, caught you by surprise, but this waste accumulation has been growing over time, sometimes even genetically. So you really want to make sure you change your perspective on the concept of these of imbalance and these weaknesses, and not chase symptoms at all. Understand and recognize the body is responding to toxicity. It's giving you warning signs. It's communicating with you. Understand your body's language, that these health ailments are manifestations of acidity and, genetic cellular weakness. So before we get to the discount slide, just want to recap a little bit. The Ultimate Detox kits or the Fab 4 are a great starting point if you want to, just get going on something without a personalized protocol. You can consume simple meals of raw living fruits and veggies to just really nourish the body and set the stage for that deep tissue cleansing and renewal. So that's always another, very important point. We can't drive home enough. And you can tailor your protocols to be as detailed or simple as you desire, like even as simple as the Heal All Tea. Just pay attention to what you're bringing in, pay attention to your diet. And this is really a journey. I know we all focus a lot on, our health issues, the labels, our goals, but really the whole intention is to enjoy this process, to truly realize the potential of your body and what you can feel like, the vitality you can experience. Your goals can be a really good way to guide you in your decisions and how your body communicates with you. But again, just reiterating this for the journey, acknowledge where you were, really acknowledge where you are now, and then think about how you're improving and what you're going to achieve for your future. So just set yourself up in that way. Now we're at the end as far as the discount codes. So you can take a screenshot of that. It's good for 48 hours. Sorry, having a brain moment. I need my brain and nerve apparently. And the recording will be available in 24 to 48 hours. Yes, you should get an email about that time. And check your spam folder just in case it ended up there. I don't think we have time for questions, do we, Colleen?
No, as expected, your wealth
Yeah.
of knowledge filled up our 30-minute time slot. And I just wanted to say thank you, Jen. Jen has been working with Dr. Morse and with these herbs and protocols and formulas for the last 10 plus years. She is amazing. And she has actually started doing private consultations through our website. So you can actually book a 30-minute private consultation where you'll meet up on Zoom and chat about your health concerns. This is specifically helpful for folks that have really specific conditions that we can't give you as much information about. And it's harder for us to answer your questions on these bigger forums. So I'm going to send right now, check your chat box, and I'm sending a link to her consult page where you can sign up for a private consultation.
Thank you. Yeah, and the questions I didn't get to that were emailed in, we will get to you guys, I promise. Just give us a day or two, but we will answer your questions in detail. We want to make sure everybody's satisfied, and hopefully it provides good insight to keep educating, right? Let's see. Oh, and
Yep.
Colleen's got a webinar coming up next month too, where we continue the journey on holistic health and all the goodies and on our herb walk. So please join in for
right.
that.
I can actually grab a link for that really quick. Yeah, the next one is, and it's another maintaining holistic health. It's herbal therapeutics. We do a lot of meeting individual herbs. And this one's also just talking about what we do going into winter to support our health. So all the different traditional protocols and therapeutics that are there for you to help support your winter months, because it's a cold, difficult time of year for some folks. So let
If you're
me
not in
put that
Florida,
in the chat. Oh yeah, right. If you're not in Florida, haha.
yeah, it'll be a very, very, I'm looking forward to it because it's a good time to reflect and really, set that intention, like you said. So I hope you all can join us for that one.
Yeah, that'll be next month.
Yes,
And okay, beautiful. I hope to see you all there. And thank you
yes,
so much, Jen, again.
you're most welcome. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And we hope you find these webinars valuable. So be well and have a wonderful Thanksgiving, all of you.